Thanks so much, Tespi. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here today. My name is Marquis Murray, and you are watching Marketing Processes that Scale, Transform Your Marketing Efforts with Asana. If you're here, you probably already know this, but Asana is one of my favorite things in the world, and so I'm always happy to talk about it when I get the opportunity to. So this question on the screen, this is one that I receive often from team leads, CEOs, as well as marketing managers and directors, like many of you that are joining today. And one thing that I find across the board is that it doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or an expert in Asana. One thing we all have in common is that there are aspects of Asana that we haven't quite tapped into yet, or that we just don't get. And so what we want to do is, acknowledge, that there are aspects of Asana that we, either in hindsight have missed out on, or we just don't quite understand how to use yet. And it often comes, because as you know, Asana can be whatever you want it to be. That's one of my favorite things about it. It is a big empty box, but it comes with some, issues sometimes where we can't figure out the best way to use it for our teams. And so if you're new to Asana and know nothing about it, welcome to the webinar today. Don't let the information overwhelm you though. Take your note, try it out on your own, at your own pace when you get back to your desk. If you use Asana every day, but you still haven't started using more of the advanced features of Asana, then this is also for you. But this talk, it aims to touch on some of the less frequently used features within Asana, and we'll see what those look like shortly. And if none of those are you, maybe your company's seen significant growth over the past year and you're having difficulty keeping up with everything on your plate, then I'm going to show you how best to do that today. But whatever the reason you're here today, welcome to you all. I hope you walk away with some learning today and some actionable next steps so that you can take this back to your daily workflows. And so I'm just going to put some quotes up on the screen here of things that I hear quite often. The first one is, I know what I want Asana to do, I just can't get it to do it. The second is, we just switched to the business plan. I'm not sure what I can do with it now. The third is, my boss needs a way to just look at one thing and see the status really quickly. And then the last one is, requests are coming in through email, Asana, and Slack, and things are falling through the cracks. So all in all, if any of these sound familiar, you're in the right place today. These are just some of the most common, concerns that I hear from teams that I connect with. And so today we're going to cover quite a few things. We're going to talk about how to get organized with projects and tasks. We're going to track your progress unit using universal reporting. I know that's a blind spot for a lot of people still. We're going to organize your marketing and editorial calendars and show you what that looks like. We're going to enable you to see the status of all projects in one place. We're going to reinforce your request and intake process today by showing some use cases. And if time permits, we will take a look at aligning your marketing team with Asana goals as well. We're fitting a lot into this, but again, my name is Marquis. I'm the CEO of Ditto, and we are a systems improvement consultancy that helps streamline the way your work is done. And so we help marketing and e-commerce teams mainly get the most out of their Asana by standardizing their operating procedures, their tools, and improving their processes. And so for me, my journey really began by building the necessary systems within my previous business, which was a marketing agency. And so made the jump from marketing to operations. And I found that the need to create order in the chaos was a common thread that I saw both in my business and with my clients. And it's this discovery that really helped me to realize what my true passion was, and that is operations. And eventually led into the career I'm in now, creating SOPs, creating process workflows and automations to make work easier. And so when I'm not optimizing workflows in Asana, you can find me either honing my skills in photography, kayaking, playing bass, or out for a walk, getting to know the small town that my family and I live in. And so If this is too much today, or you want to know more, you want to know where can I go to get more, we have lots of places for you. And so asanasolutions.com is our YouTube channel. I share lots of Asana content on that channel. I share all about this and more on Facebook as well.
Nice.
Sorry, is someone's mic open? Let's see, thank you. I share a lot of this on our Facebook group, which is the Asanaverse. So you can search Asanaverse on Facebook. You can connect with like-minded peers, other Asana enthusiasts as well. And then I also have a podcast called In Systems We Trust. So you can get that on Apple, Spotify, Google, or wherever else you get your podcast. All right, so enough with the commercial. I know, let's get into the webinar for today. And let's set the stage. And so the case we're going to be following today, just so everyone's on the same page, is that Wayzillow is a product manufacturing company based out of Scottsdale, Arizona. There's Scottsdale, I think. At least that's what Google told me. And this is Jamie. Jamie is the company's marketing director, who currently oversees a team of 12 people. Jamie is mainly responsible for proving the ROI on the company's marketing campaigns and ongoing initiatives. All right, so that's the case we're going to be following today for the demo. So let's explore today's challenge a little bit more. Jamie, okay, she needs to report on the status of open projects to her senior leadership team at the end of each month. Jamie currently has no way to visualize the various projects and campaigns that span their social media, design, and email marketing campaigns. So what Jamie's really looking for is a better solution for seeing the active status of projects, and also has a need to see reports so that he can better monitor KPIs and deliver a comprehensive status update to the leadership team each month. All right. And Adam is Wayzillow's creative director who reports to Jamie. He is currently experiencing issues with who is working on, which projects and what the status of those projects are. And because Adam oversees social media, design, email marketing, and all those related tasks, he needs a way to receive and organize all of the different, design requests that come in as well. So I know we're all, generally in the marketing space today, so this is probably sounding very familiar. And if it is, then I'm glad, because we're hitting on some really important points today. And so for today's demo, I'm going to walk you through the case study, and we're going to build it as we go. We've got a little over 45 minutes to go, and in the respective time, obviously some of the framework for this has already been built out, but I'll be breaking it down for you as well. If questions do come up during the call, like I said, or like Tatsby said, just put them in the Q&A and we'll get to them as soon as we can, okay? As I'm going through this, I want you to think about your own use cases and how you can apply this within your company. It's always best to take away those little nuggets and see how we can apply them right away. And last but not least, if you see any animals pop up on the screen today, I want you to type the name of that animal into the Q&A and you'll receive a special prize, okay? If you see any animals on the screen today, type that name of that animal into the Q&A and you'll receive a special prize. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing for a second here and we're gonna switch over to the demo. Give me 1 second. To rearrange all my Zoom screens. Okay, Tasbih, how are we looking? We can see the new screen here in Asana. Beautiful. All right, so what we're going to do first, I'm going to walk you through just some of the projects and how things are structured here today. I'm going to switch my camera off just so we can focus on the screen here. And so when it comes to how things are set up, I want to kind of show you what I typically see when I come in and take a look at, either a client's Asana or a prospect's Asana. And so this is what they generally look like. I went a bit more on the custom side, and I added some fields and some colors to it, but this is generally it, right? So all the assets and campaigns are being managed in one place. So we have a bunch of tasks that are to be reviewed. A lot of them don't have assignees. There are tasks that are overdue. The status is unclear because it's either not being updated or we're just really not sure. We're supposed to have an indicator here as to what channel this is supposed to be going out on, but as you can see, a lot of it is missing. Okay, and so we're managing all of our email campaigns in here, our blog, and we should be able to see the status, but again, it's really unclear. If we wanted to know how our blogs are doing for that one campaign versus our email campaign, we're not able to get those views within an environment like this. And so, as you can see, there's lots of holes. There's inconsistency in the data population, and there are missing info and fields. And so my bottom line is that there are always like gaps in the process. And the problem that we're trying to fix quite often is that tasks are falling through the cracks, and we just don't know really where to get started on how to fix some of those. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through some of what I've built already. So if we get back to our team here, okay, what I've done is I've taken all of our different activities. So we have all of our tasks. If you take a look at them, some of them are, write social media ads, create Instagram hashtags, generate UGC, different content, research related TikTok accounts, and they're all kind of scattered all over the place. So the first thing that I want to do is more or less organize everything within the project. And so what we do want to do is make sure that we can always see the status of that task. Okay, that's going to be number one. Number two is we always want to make sure we can see the campaign channel. Okay, that's number two there. And then we want to make sure that all of our tasks have an assignee. So what I've done is, instead of having all of your tasks and your campaigns inside of this one project, we've broken it down to be a little bit more efficient. And so the first thing I've done is I've created a master calendar for this. And so I will use this calendar, if you just want to think about this as a catch-all for all of your different ongoing marketing projects and campaigns. All right, this is going to be where everything kind of lives and sorts down to you. And so here we have Jamie, our marketing director, who's the owner of this, and there's Adam, our creative director as well. So what I've done is I have this project right now. It's in the list view. Couple new additions as far as sections go. We have a to-do section. We have a meetings section. I'll explain why a bit later. But then I've taken all of those tasks and all of those sections that we had in our first example, and I've created these 5 headings, these 5 sections within this project. So we have blog, email, paid ads, video, and website. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go, and I've already created these projects as a whole. They're all identical with the exception of the tasks that make it up. All right. So we have a to-do section, we have an in progress section, and we have a done section. I kept it really simple just so we can follow along for the example. But if any of this is unclear, please just let me know. The first thing I want to do is kind of just look at this, and I want to add in the fields. So if we recall, we want to go in and we want to create our custom fields. Now, when it comes to custom fields, we have so many different options as to what we can add in here. And so single select is the most popular one. It gives us a quick visual as to what's going on. Multi-select, we can select more than one option at a time. And then obviously we have date and people custom fields now, and text and number fields are also used interchangeably. And so what we want to recreate here is the campaign channel. So I'm just going to create this. I'm not going to assume that everyone knows how, right? Campaign channel, we have blog channel, and then we have email channel, and then there were the various others that were created, okay? We would then create this field, and it's now added to our project, and we can simply click and select the one that we want to indicate what that piece of content should be going towards. But obviously, I've already done all of this. So I'm going to remove this field completely, which is going to delete it. And I'm going to bring in the one that I've already made. So I'm going to go and search for my campaign. Channel, there it is. And then the other one was, I'm going to go to my teams for a minute. The other one was our status. Beautiful. So I'm going to go back. And I'm going to add that one in as well. Add a custom field, and we're going to call this status. And like I said, I've already done that. There's our WZ for Zillow. And so now we can see, the campaign channel, and we can see the status there. All right, I am going to make sure that all of these have all the things that we talked about, right? We need to have a status for them all. So right now, they're all in the to-do section. Okay, as you can see, our custom field aligns with the to-do. And I'm just going to add some due dates here, just so when they get added to the calendar, we can visualize absolutely everything. All right, just put in some random dates. So I'm going to add some more assignees. Like so, just really fill this up so that we have all the information we need. Now, if we get back to the marketing calendar, the one that we originally talked about, we want a way where we can track the individual status of each of these projects, but we also want to see everything in one place so that Jamie can get all the information that she needs to report, and then Adam needs to be able to see the status of all of the different campaigns. So again, we have our blog, project, email, paid ad, video production, and website. And so the first thing we want to do, and the reason why we often will add these custom fields, is so that we can add rules to them. And so what I'm going to do now is set up a rule that says whenever this channel custom field is used, blog, that it gets added automatically to our marketing calendar. All right. And so we can do that by clicking on the ellipses next to the section we want that rule to apply to, or we can just go to customize and we can then add that rule, which I'm going to do. And I love custom rules. And so I'm going to use this one. So the trigger in this case, I'm just going to call it blog multi-home. Okay. And the trigger, like we said, is the channel campaign is blog, like so. The action in this case is going to be that we're going to add it to another project. So I'm going to find our marketing calendar 22-23 under Zillow, and we're going to put it in the blog section. So again, the rule is that any campaign channels or custom fields where we see blog, we are going to multi-home it to this section here within the marketing calendar. So let's just create that rule. All right. And just so we can check if it's working, I'm going to turn all these off. And then I'm going to set them to blog again. And we're going to see if Asana is going to recognize it. There we go. So blog multi-home is running ×5. Great. So now we should be able to go over to our marketing calendar, and under the blog section, there we go. Those tasks have already shown up there, and we can see that they're in a couple of places because it originated in the marketing projects. Okay, but we better organized it inside of our blog project, where we just were, And now they're also living in the marketing calendar space, okay? And just for, consistency's sake and, clarity, I'm actually just going to remove it from the original marketing projects. We no longer need that. That is the old way of doing things. So I'm just going to press on this X here to remove all of these tasks. Let's do them all together. We're going to remove them all from marketing projects. There we go. So now it's just living in our blog project where we have our to do, in progress, and done. And now it's living in this section. I'm going to do the same for email. Let me just do this real quickly. So again, our first steps are going to be to find those custom fields. There's number one. And then we had our status as well. Beautiful. And so now I'm just going to populate these the same way we did before. I'm going to assign another task to another team member. Add some dates for all of these. Okay. And then these are all for email. And I'm going to have this status set to do. Now, if you're not familiar with rules, the reason why I sometimes will have this status here as well is now we can set rules that simply say this, right? If we can click on the ellipses next to the section that we want to impact, add that rule, and it will just say any task that's moved to this section, right? We can do a couple things. We can have the status update to in progress, right? And then we can also move it to in progress. So we have our triggers, which start the automation, and then we have our actions, which is the outcome of the trigger, okay? So it's not just that a task could be moved there. Someone could update that custom field. So we want to always make sure that we have the inverse of the rule running as well. So I'll just add in my trigger as well, that the status, when the status is updated to in progress, that it will work. Now, there's one thing that often gets overlooked, you got to be really careful about, is this little disclaimer right here. And so this is currently set to that when all of these triggers happen, okay, so both of these have to happen in order for these actions to take place. You just want to make that quick change that when any of these triggers happen, so whether someone moves it or they're selecting that custom field, these actions will then happen. So now just as a quick test, I'm going to move this to in progress, and we're going to see this guy update to in progress there, okay? So that's rules 101 right there. I'm just going to keep them in the to-do section for right now. You'll notice the in progress will not change because I do not have that rule assigned here just yet. I'll have to manually do that. But now, if you recall, we're going to do the same rule where we're multi-homing it to the marketing calendar. So now we're going to call this email. And it's going to be that when the channel campaign is updated to email, the action will be that it will be added to another project. And it's going to be marketing project. And the section will be email. We're going to create that rule. Perfect. So let's just get those all over there by turning this off and then running it again. Asana is going to let us know that it's working ×3. Beautiful. All right, let's go take a look and see how we did. So we have our emails nicely organized. There are assignees for all of them. Let's just update the regions just for fun because I love colors, but doesn't really matter. Mercio spotted a dragon. The dragon an animal or a mythical creature? I did say animals. Okay, great. And like I said, a lot of the framework has been already built out. So I've already done that for our paid ads projects, our video production project, and our website project. And now all of our tasks are here, okay? But if you recall, there are still quite a few living in this space. So just to clean some things up, I'm just going to remove them once and for all from our original project so that we have a really nice base to work with. So I'm going to shift click all of the tasks, and we can select up to 50 tasks at a time to make these changes. going to click on here, and we're just going to search for the project we want to remove, and we're just going to X out on that right there. Beautiful. And I'm going to save this as our default view. Now I'm just going to finish filling this out, put in some other random dates, like so. Some of them are overdue, some of them are upcoming. Perfect, just like that. I'm going to make sure our assignee field is visible as well, just to make sure that all these tasks also have an assignee. We're really close. Let's just finish this up real quick. Perfect. All of our team members, all of our tasks in one place. Now what's great about this is that when I flip over to the calendar view, this is what we get. Now we can see that all of our tasks are in the same place because we've multi-homed them there. This view and the sections and how it's organized will not impact at all what's actually happening at the individual project level. As you can see, these are all independent of each other. But now we have a really clean view. And what I'm going to do in the calendar is I'm going to change this default, not to be the Asana default, because it's just giving us the color of the project. We want it to be the color of the channel, the campaign channel custom field. And we do that so that we can start to recognize the colors and know at a glance exactly what it is. Now, if we did go to the blog, let's say, sometimes, depending on how your naming conventions are set up, we may want to do something like this, where we put this, this prefix in front of all, say, the blog type emails, right? Just so that they jump out even a little bit more. So we sometimes will do that for our social media content. And then if I go back to the marketing calendar, we can look right away. We can see, oh, yellow's the blog. Great. Now I can visualize all of that information. Okay. We're going to pause there for a second. So we've organized everything. It's all inside one view, but we're going to come back to that. We're going to move to our next step. Okay. And what we're going to do for this is we're going to set up a design intake request form as well. Okay. So I'm going to head over to our design request project. Okay. This is private for one reason. Adam is the owner of it. Any of the work that Adam has to do, we don't necessarily want everyone, being involved in how the soup is made. So we keep that private. And so you can decide to do whatever you want to, but I'll totally leave that up to you. So first and foremost, we just want to go in and we want to create. Let me update that. All right, Kay says, I see cat. Beautiful. All right, so we have to do in progress and done. The first thing we want to do is we want to create our form. All right, and let me just come over here to customize where all the magic happens. We're going to create our form and we're going to add that form here. We're going to call it design request. Maybe I'll add a nice cover photo just for fun. Okay, we have our name and email address already. And then what we want to also do is just add in a few fields that make sense. And so this could be, what's the goal of your request? Again, you can make this whatever you want it to be. I'm going to make that required. Maybe I'm going to have one for, and it's going to be a paragraph. I'm going to say what copy is required. Make that mandatory. And because we have created those custom fields, I'm also going to use those to our benefit. So I'm going to bring in our single select here, and I'm going to ask, what channel is this for? All right. We can start listing them out here, where we can say blog and we can say email, but because we already have that custom field created, we can actually add that to a field. So I've already gone ahead and added our custom field we've already become familiar with, called campaign channel. So as long as I click on that, it will connect to this here. So now this is going to be a requirement that we have the channel set up. Other options, if you did want to use the multi-select, you could say, what dimensions do you need? And then option 1 could be 1920 by 1080. And then option 2 could be 1080 by 1080. Really doesn't matter, but that's what that could look like. Okay. If we click over in the settings, we want to make sure that Adam gets every single one of these requests when they come in, because we do not want any more to fall through the cracks. So we're going to set Adam here as the assignee for this, and it's going to make sure that every form that is submitted, Adam gets that notification and it's assigned directly to him. Come on, Adam. All right, let's try that again.
While we're waiting for this to load, Marquis, can we answer one question by Bart? He asks, does the design request replace the scheduled tasks in the marketing calendar, or is the calendar task just for management of the task, not the design itself?
Yeah, great question. So we often will just want one, streamlined way that all requests are fielded. And so the tasks within the projects, that's to get the campaign from A to Z. There'll always be assets that need to be developed that we'll want to create. And so we create the design request projects as a space where the creative team can have all of their conversations and have their workflow really defined and see where all of the tasks are, so that again, nothing is falling through the cracks. All right, so let's just see what happened here. All right, so I'm going to delete one version of these. Okay, so we have our design requests now, and let's just take a look at it quickly. I'm going to pop us. This is what it's going to look like. So now we have it here. Which channel is this for? So on and so on, and we have all the things that we added in there. Okay, what we can now do is a couple of things. Okay. We want the team that submits to be able to follow along with what's happening, because remember, this is private, right? So they're not going to be in this project. And we also want to make sure that they can, get the status right away without having to bother Adam or bombard the design team. And so what we're going to do for that is, let's go back to our teams down here. So I'm going to do a couple of things. Within each of these teams, I'm going to add a section called design request. Is that how you spell it? I think so. There we go. I'm going to add that one called design request, and then I'm going to go to email, and I'm going to do the same thing. Remember, Asana is a big open box. You can do whatever you want, but this is one of the ways that I love to use Asana, and we'll often recommend to our customers to do the same. Now, because we have our form set up, we can do a couple of things. Okay, we can now create rules that say this. We're going to add a rule to this section. So when a task, let's start with our trigger at the top. We're going to start with the trigger that when a task is added to this project, okay, another trigger will be that the campaign channel is, let's just do blog because it's easy. Okay, so when all of these happen, so we want to know that when a task is added and blog is there, and the blog would have shown up there because in the design request form, someone would have specifically selected that field. Okay, and so the way that this form is set up now is because we pulled it in from our custom field, it's automatically going to assign that channel identifier to the submission. Okay, so when all of these happen, what we want to do now is we want to add it to another project. So because we want to maximize visibility for everyone on the team, we're going to add it to another project, which is multi-homing. And we're going to multi-home it to our blog project. And it's going to go in the design request space. Okay. Now, think about this for a second. We've just gone and we've created this rule that says when a task is added to this project through form submission and the campaign is set to blog, we want it to add to this space. Okay. Blog design requests. Now, you'll figure this out through some trial and error. But if you recall, we go back to blog and we created a rule already that says that the campaign, when it's set to blog, okay, it's going to multi-home. So what we're potentially doing is creating a loop where these rules are going to start canceling each other out. Okay, so what I want to make sure I do if we are completing anything like this is that we add to our triggers and says that when a trigger is moved to this section, so not design requests, when it's moved to do only, and all of these are set, that is the only way that it can be multi-homed to this calendar. So in this case, when, let's just test it out now. Let's go and we're going to refresh this form and we're going to test it out. We're going to go back to our design requests and see exactly what happens. I'm going to submit. Like so, design request, test, copy required, no copy needed. And we're going to set it to blog and we're looking for a banner maybe for our blog and we're going to submit it. Going to spin up, submit our form, and it should do a couple of things. So there we go. It's been added to do. It's been assigned the channel custom field of blog. It's been assigned to Adam, which is exactly what we wanted. And now we can see with this little bar that it's been added to another project. So let's see what it did. Okay, so in this case, it did exactly what we wanted it to. Okay, it didn't go to the to-do section and it didn't overwrite the other rule. Okay, it went exactly where we wanted it to. And now our team that's in the blog space, but not the design project, can now see the exact same instance that Adam is seeing. Okay, when Adam moves it from to do to in progress, this team is going to get a notification. They're going to see, okay, great. Our task, our request is now in progress. They can see all the information here and we can move it through that way as well. And so I can see we have a question, so I'm going to take a pause for that. How then is the design status and progress managed if it's separate from the main task? How then is the design status and progress managed? Yeah, great question. So the design status is specifically managed by Adam and his creative team within this project. Okay, so when they move it from to do to in progress and done, it will update as a custom field. And then in the blog team where, you know, Adam is not a member of and vice versa, we're going to see that status. So now our team just knows not to touch this design request. This is strictly for Adam and his team. All we are concerned with is our work, to do, in progress, and done. Okay. If we wanted to get really fancy, okay, and this design request we knew was specific to say this blog, we could do something like this within our project. We could copy this, right? And then we can go to this task and we can say convert to subtask of, I'm going to copy in my link there, that blog. Okay. And so now we can see that that design request is linked directly to there. And we would only do that for visibility's sake. So that's just another option for us if we did want to keep things really nice and tidy so that we know exactly what's linked to what. But again, that's just one option for us to observe. Any questions on that before I move on to the next point? All right, so let's take it a step further now. Okay, now we've got some visibility. We've got our process really down. You know, Adam and his team are working well. Everything's being received, and our team can still work Jamie can come in and Jamie can see exactly what's going on, what blogs are going out on what day. Our system is now starting to work, okay? But we can get even more granular with this. So now we want to go and we want to create a portfolio, all right? And so on the business plan, you're going to have access to portfolios here where really you just want to think of them as folders, right? Summaries of everything that we put inside of them. And so I'm just going to put marketing progress right here. Let me make that public. And now we're going to add our different projects to it. We're going to add in our blog. We're going to add in our email project, our paid ads project. What else do we got? Asana's blocking me. Video production and websites. Video production, there we go, and websites. Okay, just like projects, we can add custom fields here that we want to visualize. So I'm going to go in because we've been using it this whole time. I'm just going to add in my campaign channel so we can see at a glance exactly what's going on. Okay, and now maybe I want to add in my status as well, because Jamie doesn't want to have to go down and drill into every single project. Jamie doesn't have time for that. Jamie's a director and needs to report and see things really, really quickly. Okay, so now we can see that these campaign channels are pretty much set, okay, because they're connected to those individual projects. Now we can see the status, you know, if this is in progress. We can add additional fields. If this is not, if we're not ready to complete this one yet, then that can wait. And then this one is done, completed. Okay. So what this can look like in the real world is through actual status updates. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set a date for this website launch here. And so I'm just going to give it a date of range of about 30 days. We'll get back to our portfolio. Okay, and now we can see that the website, September 1st and the 30th. Okay, this is a high priority item. Okay, we can see the task progress is 0. There are 4 incomplete tasks altogether, and we have no status update. And so I'm just going to go back in. I'm just going to complete a couple of these tasks here, and I'm going to manually move them over to done because we haven't set up the rule for it yet. Okay, so now when we go back into our portfolio, we can now see that we are 50% complete this. Now Jamie can come in and Jamie can do the status update. So as the owner of the project, we can, remind ourselves and get a task reminder every Friday to update this status. So I'm just going to check off that little toggle. Now we're going to update this status. Now, if you remember, I told you that a lot of this has already been created, but I'm just going to update the team on what's going on. This is mostly on track. We're halfway through. We're feeling really, really good. Okay, we can see all of our custom fields there. I'm just going to paste in my summary there. We're doing great. Team's kicking butt and taking names. We had a small hitch regarding a design approval, but we're able to sort that out. Looks like we'll make our deadline for the holiday season. Great, feeling good. Now I'm going to put in what was accomplished. Just going to paste that in. What's blocked? Let's see, what was blocked here? So not enough graphics with cute dogs and cats. That reminds me. We're going to need a few more of those. All right, fine, you can get them. And then next steps, we have a few of them here, okay? We're going to rock the socks off of our customer. We're going to continue being awesome. We're going to start planning for the next campaign and conduct a retrospective of this current campaign, okay? Now, because we've already completed some tasks, you can see that Asana makes it really simple to just pull in what those tasks are within your desired time frame. So over the last 4 weeks, we completed 2 tasks. So I like to just put a little summary and then drag that over there, and it would actually populate the tasks that were completed, okay? If we have any overdue tasks, there were 0. We don't have any approvals or milestones, and so we can say that nothing was overdue or blocked, okay? And then we can see what's upcoming as well. So we have 2 tasks that are upcoming, and we can drag those in here also, okay? Now, when we post this status update, everyone on Jamie's team is involved, can see what's happening. She can tag her her leadership team here, and they can see exactly what Jamie sees. They get the status update every single week, and they are happy. All right, so I'm not going to do that for all of the other projects, but with each individual owner, this is basically the process that you will follow. All right, so I'm just going to favorite this right here, and we're going to go to one of the big blind spots that I often see, and is setting up reporting. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a global report now to report on everything that we see. So I hope you can see how this progression has been made. We've cleaned up our project, we've standardized it with custom fields, we've added in rules that automate the use of those custom fields and the progression of tasks. We've multi-homed them all into one clear calendar for everyone to see. We've created a new intake process that, based on what is selected in that form, it gets multi-homed to that team so that they have visibility on it. And now we have a portfolio where anyone on the team can come in and see at a glance, how are we doing? Are we on track? Are we off track? Are we at risk? What's going on? Now we want to see some hard and fast numbers. So in the business plan, if you go into reporting, okay, you can add a dashboard. So we're going to call this one, let's see, we're going to report on incomplete tasks by progress by project. So across all the projects, which or how many incomplete tasks are there? So one, you can, standardize this. You can have it just be columns or donuts. I like columns and donuts. They're my favorite. They're the most visual ones. Okay. And then we want to take a look at this. We can now include tasks and projects across the entire organization. We can just look at the Wayzillow team if we wanted to. Okay, like so. We're going to actually look at our portfolio that we called marketing progress. So now we can see all of the projects that we added there. And again, we want to see incomplete progress by project. Okay, so now it's not necessarily task count we want to see incomplete. So we can now drill down in our filters, and you can add an unlimited amount of filters where we can go by task completion status. Okay, so now we can click on incomplete, and we can see that there are 6 tasks that are incomplete in paid ads, 6 that are incomplete in blog, so on and so on. And website, obviously, we've been working through that one where we know we're 50% of the way through the project, so there are only 2 incomplete tasks. So now we can create that field or create that chart. Okay, I'll create one other one for you. We're also going to look at all overdue tasks by project. Okay, so we want to see at a glance, out of all of our projects, which one of them are overdue. Now, when you drill down into this yourself, you can see that Asana's already got you started on some of the most commonly used and needed charts here. So you don't need to, reinvent the wheel here and, think outside of the box. You can really do whatever it is that you want. But I like custom charts because it allows you to just think through it a little bit more. And so all overdue tasks by project. Again, we're going to sort by our portfolio here. We're going to assign this to our marketing progress. If we didn't have a portfolio set up, right, we can pull in specific projects. So now we can search for blog, email, right? But that way is much slower. Mauricio, on it again, cats and puppies. All right, Mauricio. So let's go back to our portfolios. Let's pull this in. Perfect. And so again, we want to see all overdue tasks by project. Now we are going to look at task counts. We're going to add our filter. Okay. And then we are going to look at task status. This is going to allow us to visualize what's upcoming, overdue, unscheduled, or completed. Okay, so we're going to look at overdue tasks within all of these here. So we have 3 overdue tasks within paid ads, and now we have 1 overdue task within blogs. Okay, we're going to do one more for you just so you can kind of get to understand what this is. We're going to do, actually, I'm going to X out of that because we can actually duplicate charts. And I'm going to edit my duplicate chart here. I'm going to say overdue tasks by assignee. Okay, so rather than task count, we can go in and we can change our filter to assignee. Okay, and we can filter by the specific assignees, but in this case, I'm just going to change my x-axis to be assignee. Remove this filter here. Okay, and now we can see the task count. The last step, again, is that status, because we want to see all overdue tasks by status. So Moses here, he has 2 tasks that are overdue. Okay, Jamie has 1, and then Romina has 1 as well. And so we can see that this is really starting to take form. But if we go into our already populated report here, we can see what this can look like. The other metrics that I wanted to visualize were all unplanned work. So what's nice about these now is we can click into these, and now we can see all unplanned work. And so what unplanned work is it's simply tasks that don't have a due date within them. So right now, Adam's new design request is the only one out of all of these within the portfolio that do not have a due date assigned to them. The last metrics that I wanted to display, and we can change how we display them by bringing up a number chart, was task status at a glance. So the filters are a little bit different. We're looking at the entire Phoenix Corp. Let's again go by marketing progress. Let's update these here. We'll go by portfolio marketing corp. Okay, I'm not going to do the other ones, but you understand how it works. So now we can see that there are a total of 22 tasks across all of the projects that we've assigned in the portfolio. We can see that 20 of them are incomplete. There would have only been 2 that are completed, and overdue tasks, I think we had how many? 2. So we have 4 overdue tasks altogether. So now Jamie can come at this and take a look and see what's happening at a high level. And Jamie's bosses, the ones that are in senior leadership, can now come here and either look at our portfolio or look at this snapshot of the report. And so I hope this was helpful to you. I know it's quite a bit of information, but as we can see, there are no limits really to what Asana can do. And the important thing here that I want to stress is that this visibility in the reporting and the visibility in portfolios and the visibility in our marketing calendar is only made possible by clean information, right? We have all of our information organized within our projects. We're using all the custom fields. We have a clear, concise way, and everyone on our team has agreed that we're going to work in this way, and they're all responsible and take ownership for keeping the project nice and clean. So I'm going to switch back to the presentation now. Are there any questions at all from anything that we've discussed in the demo today? Were there any others that came in, Tisby?
A few, yeah, but no questions at the moment.
No questions? Okay, perfect. Let me just reshare my screen here and we'll conclude things. So I want to thank you for being here today. Something that I'm really excited about. If you're sitting here and you're like, this was a lot of information, I still don't get it, I'm overwhelmed, again, take the notes, take it back. This is being recorded, and so you can watch this back and go at your own speed and learn a lot of these things. But something that I'm really, really excited about that we are, launching, and we're in our pre-launch stage right now, is what we are calling Asana Mastery. And it is a course that we've designed that goes in depth into everything that we've discussed today. And so if you go to asanamasterycourse.com, even today, you can get on the wait list and get in on a low introductory price. Today, our classes will be starting later this fall, but you will have access to me, the rest of the Ditto team. We're teaching all of these foundational Asana best practices and helping you in building the best, Asana conventions and best practices for your team. We're covering everything from Asana basics to business and enterprise features, where we have access to some of Asana use cases and best practices, as well as the advanced features. So everything we have here, we'll be working through at your own pace, with additional case studies with different industry experts. And we have access to me, and again, the rest of the Ditto team, on a weekly call where we can look at your business as well and look at exactly what it is that you are struggling through and work through it together. You'll have access to a customized Asana template. If there's anything you saw today where you just thought, man, there's no way I could ever build that out or have it look just like that, we're going to be taking that on and helping you and providing those to you. You'll also have access to our private Volley community. Volley is an alternative to Slack, where it's video based, where we can share in a community and send messages asynchronously. And so you'll have lifetime access to that. And so I'd love to invite you to visit asanamasterycourse.com. You can register now, take care of all the logistics now, and get on the wait list so that when the doors open in a few weeks, you are the first to be notified. And so would love to take any other questions if there are any. Who's excited about Asana Mastery? Let's see, let's throw it in the Q&A there. I know I'm very excited about Asana Mastery, and I can't wait. And so again, visit asanamasterycourse.com. You can find out more about what Ditto does at thinkditto.com, or you can go find us on socials. And if you have any just general questions, feel free to email me. And we have we had a winner. Like I said, if you saw any animals on the screen, you get a special prize. So Mauricio, for spotting all the cats and dogs, you get a free 30-minute consulting session with me. And so would love you to send me an email so we can set that up and get your free consulting session going. But that will conclude the webinar for today. Thank you so much for attending, and we will see you online. Bye for now.